one of the things that I think may have been the difference between North Carolina and Florida is Florida was used to this and they made preparations. But in North Carolina, uh, apparently people were not expecting this, so they didn't evacuate. They weren't prepared, and they were caught defenseless. Uh, Jim?
Yeah, Gary. So let me give you an example. So 4 years ago, almost exactly, right at the start of COVID or in the midstream of COVID, we had a similar type of situation, a weather event out west, and just coincidentally during the presidential election cycle of 2020, and it occurred. It occurred right in the window of August, September, and a little earlier in the cycle. And I recalled distinctly that Lieutenant Governor Dan Forest went out and was volunteering with Samaritan's Purse, no less, in the western counties doing flood relief. So we did have some experience in 2020 with a similar type of weather event, but not nearly as severe, with maybe 1/4 of the amount of rain that had to be handled. And he spent a good part of 6 weeks working in flood relief out in the western counties in the hay of, right in the midst of all the COVID epidemic. And I noticed that there wasn't a lot of media coverage of the relief effort out there at that time. It was almost like they were out of sight, out of mind in the western counties. And were it not for Samaritan's Purse and some of the volunteer organizations, probably wouldn't have known anything about it. But no, this is not completely unusual for weather events, especially when you get a lot of rainfall to have flooding effects in the western counties.